sleepy wide awake.
Everyone, welcome back to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here at the outskirts of the Alamo City, but only to bring you one of my favorite bands of 2013, if not the favorite band of the year. I have with me the band Love and Death. We're here at Josabis. I have Brian, Dan, and JR of the group right here. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. It's been a long time coming. I just love you guys, man, and you guys played a killer-ass show. I'm still kind of high myself right now.
Yeah. Do you say that to every band?
No, I don't.
Dude, that's an honor. Thank you for that. Yeah.
And Brian, you know, I'll start with you because, you know, I've been a big fan of yours ever since you started doing your solo work. And when I last had you in front of the camera in 2008, when we were supporting Save Me From Myself, the landscape for you as an artist was really open. So I want to begin by starting by asking you why the rebranding of Brian Head Welch with Love and Death. I mean, really, you could have continued to do the Brian Head Welch solo project, but now you're in a group with a fabulous group of young musicians here.
Well, JR is not fabulous, but the other guys are awesome, and so yeah, we just wanted to. I've been with these guys for like since 2009, and I got to know them really good, and so we just decided when JR got here, it was just like it was time to leave that behind because the Brian Head Welch was a thing. Like my book came out, so I did so it kind of went with the book, and it's a new day. So we came up with the band name. We all agreed on Love and Death, and here we are.
The Love and Death record definitely is a new step forward. It's definitely, to me, a bit more edgier than the solo work. How do you feel that the fans have received it thus far?
It's awesome. Every show's been like off the chisane.
You guys played a stellar show. I mean, I was really amazed how tight you guys were. I mean, you guys got it down.
Yeah, that's him. Dan, good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I told Dan off camera, I said, dude, I'm a big fan of your jump playing. You're a killer drummer.
Thanks, man. It's the computer. It's our fifth member.
Yeah, he doesn't play.
So musically, what separates Love and Death from the solo stuff musically?
It's just more like it's a broader sound that more people can relate to. It's catchier songs. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just we went for song quality on this record, and I think we achieved it. Save Me From Myself, I went for more like it was just about me and my soul and my experience, and this one's more about the songs and just getting the quality that we wanted.
JR, a lot of people know your story as a young musician. I mean, I don't think a lot of people really know the story of how you were discovered, because I know you were not part of the solo band, but and Dan was, and others were, but you were not. So if you can, just quickly, can you share a little bit for the people out there who don't know your story, and really what a young musician you are? Correct me if I'm wrong, you're like 17 years old?
It's awesome, you know. Back in 2011 in the spring, I was trying out for 1,000 Foot Crutch actually, and he stole me away from that whole audition thing with TFK. And but yeah, I joined when it was still kind of Brian Head Welch, and then about a year later we changed it to Love and Death. But yeah, I was 15 at the time and 17 now. It's been awesome.
Did you ever, I mean, what has it been like to collaborate with Brian and the other members in the band? I can imagine, you know, what you have learned musically, not only as an artist, you know, and a guitarist, but also what have you kind of learned from the man as just a human being? Because Brian right now, at least I would say, is somewhere like in life, he's kind of at the pinnacle now.
Yeah, he has a lot of wisdom, and he's crazy. No, musically though, like he's helped me be able to write, because he asked me to write music for the new album, and I didn't really know how to write. You know, I think I was embarrassed to show him anything that I wrote because I thought it sucked. But some of the stuff we used on the record, it turned out well. So yeah.
And I think that's what makes Brian, in my opinion, a very special artist, because he's not just a guitar player, he is a songwriter. And I think since he's gone solo, many people have been able to really identify that. And speaking of songwriting, you did the record in Nashville, which for a rocker, I think that's kind of unorthodox.
Taking over.
Taking over.
Metal's taking over everywhere. It's all a front. All this Katy Perry crap, all this pop stuff out there, it's all a front because metal's getting ready to come back with a tidal wave, y'all.
Just for the record, JR and I like Katy Perry. So.
What was it like to record it in Nashville, Dan? Did you ever think you'd be there?
Nashville, that was definitely different. I was glad to be able to go out there and work there. The studio was cool, and Jason was great to work with, and it's just a cool vibe being out there.
Jason Roush, who produced the record, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. You also had some other people kind of collaborating with you, even outside of the band. Is that true?
Yeah, there's just some other writers that helped with lyrics and stuff like that. And you know what? Just to get back on the serious note, like Nashville isn't like that country like stuff no more. It's full. Like I bumped into the dude from Mark Slaughter from Slaughter at the airport. The guys from Cinderella lived there, and like a lot of the Fray lived there, and Kings of Leon. So it's like it's not all country no more, and it's I had a blast, and I'm living there right now. So
really,
yeah. It's crazy because right when I moved there, like my first album was under Warner through my own label, and that CEO of Warner Music, like I moved to Nashville and I saw that he lived there. He's like, yeah, I moved here from New York City. I was like, dang, like Nashville's pumping, It's like I'm in the right spot.
Cool. One thing I want to ask personally, because I was I've always been a huge fan, and when the hype started coming out about Love and Death, the record was supposed to come out in November. And then it got pushed back. I was like, oh, I'm like, why did that happen?
Tooth and Nail, the record company, kind of they merged with someone else, and so it just pushed everybody's back. And even like the Letter Black, who played this show with us, they're still waiting for their release date, and it's been pushed back like 3 times. So we're thankful that it only got pushed back once.
I was telling the band off camera that I was really happy to see that you before you played Chemicals, there was a little kind of testimony. You talked about people's, some people, the demons that they have inside, and what they do to mask those demons. However, it seems like with Love and Death, you're kind of keeping the whole the spirituality component of who you are a little closer to the chest. It's not as much prominent as it used to be. Not that it is not as relevant. It's just you're just keeping it a little closer inside and letting Love and Death kind of manifest itself the way it does. Did you purposely decide that for the band, or was that just something? Is that just the continued evolution of who you are spiritually?
Yeah, it's just evolution, it's maturity. It's like you walk it out. Because I'm not ashamed of Christ at all. I'll never be ashamed of Christ. And people know I put out my album, put out my book. They know who I am, and now I'm going to live it out and walk it out. And you don't have to shout it from the rooftops like every day. People get sick of you. It's like it's all about relationships. It's all about connecting with the fans. It's all about just love and like loving people and loving the fans and that's what I'm walking out now. It's not. It could be inside, but it comes out through that stuff now instead of just.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously people who really connect with you and the band know that aspect is still there. I mean, when you talked about Christ this evening, the roar was just crazy. So
I haven't done that in like probably 5-7 shows. I just felt like doing it tonight. It's just like. I don't have to do it every night, and if I don't feel like it's all about the music, then it's all about the music,
Let's talk about this run. I mean, obviously, this is kind of a little practice run for Love and Death. What's the reception been like, Dan? How do you feel the fans have kind of accepted Love and Death now that you guys are playing these songs live?
Fans seem to love it. They love the new stuff. They even if they just came to see TFK, by the end of their show, we usually made some new ones, made some new fans. I mean, so it's all the shows have been great.
There's a new power with this album. I'm just saying, like, since we focus on the songs and there's a new power, there's a new energy, and every single show, it's like night and day from any other tour we've done since I left Korn. So.
Did you want to add anything, JR, to what you've been hearing from the fans? What are people saying about you when they see you rocking out on stage? I was really impressed, and I'm not kidding. I was really impressed with the whole performance. I think all of you guys not only are playing the songs magnificently, but are just giving a strong performance out there. Everybody.
They tell me I suck. No, I'm kidding. No, it's been great. Like I think we just put our heart into this album, and just when we play live and just what we do, and I think everyone sees that, through what we do every day. So
there's a lot of killer songs on the record: Chemicals, Paralyzed, The Abandoning. I think there's one song that I don't hear talked about enough, which is like one of my favorite songs on the record, and it's the very subtle track called Bruises. Talk a little bit. Yeah, I love that song. I listen to it like every day, at least 2 or 3 times a day. So talk a little bit about that track, because it really speaks to me about putting things down and moving forward with certain parts of my life, and learning to forgive and move forward with some of the negative parts of life.
That's awesome, man. I'm so glad.
I don't know if you remember this or not, but in 2008 when we were talking about Save Me from Myself, I said, yeah, one of my favorite songs is Money. He said, mine too. And I said, one of my favorite songs is Loyalty. Mine too. So like you and I are like, we dig on the same songs.
Except this time.
Oh, you don't like Bruises?
I like Bruises. I just had trouble vocally, and I'm sure like it's only my ears that hear it.
Right.
So, but and I like the song. I love the vibe and everything, and yeah, but Meltdown's my favorite. Is that? Do you like that one?
I like others more. Not that I don't like it, but I like others more.
You've changed. You've changed. Hey, thank you though.
I'm a Catholic. We're all Catholics here in San Antonio. We're all good. So we have our ups and we have our downs. I've also heard you, as we talk about the songs, I've also read where you said, I'll wait for you to, like, that was the heaviest track I've ever written.
I think so, just like vocally and everything, I wait for you. It's
Yeah. I mean,
oh wait, I didn't sing it. But yeah, we got Matty Montgomery from For Today that just, but he totally like killed it, and it's just and it's tuned down to what? F sharp.
Drop F.
And that's lower than even Diamond Eyes from Deftones. It's like the lowest I've ever been. So that's what I meant.
It sounds great on the stereo. Well, any way you play it, just sounds great on the stereo.
It tickles my butt cheeks in my car. Like I always play it. So yeah.
You guys are out on the road, as we talked about earlier, in the War of Change tour with 1,000-Foot Crutch. I'm glad I got that right. I've been struggling with that all evening. What does the rest of the year look for you? We as fans to see you this evening, of course, wanted to see longer than a 30-minute set. So what can fans expect later on for 2013?
Money, cars, and houses, man. Just like no, we're gonna tour. This is gonna be the biggest touring year. In fact, I'm moving out of my house and I'm putting my stuff in storage. I'm touring so much, and we're going. I don't know if you heard, I'm doing some stuff with Korn, and I'm taking Love and Death with Korn in Europe. Nice. We're doing some good metal festivals down there. Then we're just gonna fill up our schedule, and JR's free because he dropped out of high school, so it's like he's just like everyone's totally free. So
I'm sure your parents were proud of you, JR, for that. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad to see that you guys will be staying busy. Also, off camera, we were talking about. I was a big fan of the solo. I thought maybe they might play a couple of tracks, maybe Money or Loyalty, some of the big tracks off that record. If you guys do a longer set, would you consider playing some of those tracks? I mean, because I think those are just fabulous songs. And
we haven't really talked about that, but I'm open to maybe throw one or two in, like if we have an hour and a half set or something. Yeah. Well, we'll talk. I don't know if JR can play them, but maybe I'll just hire another guy to play them. But.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. We always bust his chops like every day.
Good. I mean, this guy has had. I think he has it better than all of you guys. I mean, we can just imagine what lies ahead for this young man. Okay, so also as a video program, we've enjoyed the video work that you guys have done for Chemicals and Paralyzed. We dig those videos. Did you enjoy doing the video work?
Yeah, it was awesome. I got to run around in Chemicals. It was funny, the scene where I'm running and the guy with the mask was chasing me, that's Dan. And I was actually running.
Nice going.
Ha ha. No.
We're supposed to tell him it's like Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like a friend of ours, and he did it just for we're supposed to lie. I'm just kidding. I don't lie.
It's all about perception in the marketplace.
That's a lie. I just lie.
Do you think that in this age now where everyone's so damn busy and just watching everything online on YouTube and whatever, that the video medium is important, is more important now than it was back in the day?
The video, like making videos?
Or just having videos out in the marketplace?
Yeah, I think so, because people can watch them, you know, on demand, like all day long. So I think it's good. Some people don't agree with that, just because like it costs money to make it, but everything's cheaper. But I think they're important because it's like if Johnson and Johnson didn't put a commercial for their product, you know, it's like you gotta get your stuff out there, and that's a good way to do it.
Also, as we end out this interview, I mean, Brian, we know, you know, the things that you're, you know, stay busy with. You talked about Korn a little while ago, and of course Love and Death, and I'm glad to hear that Love and Death will continue to be part of your future. But also, will you continue to do public speaking work? I know that you did a lot of that in the past few years. You know, at different churches around the country, or even just in arenas where you could just speak to people. Is that something you're still interested in?
Totally. I'm all about, even the music, it's speaking something, you know, and it's like, and even playing guitar for Korn, I think, is speaking something, and it's speaking like just reconciliation and love and restoration and family, you know, and it's like, and I'm all about it, and I'm getting busier now, so it's like I gotta open up like opportunities to speak, but I think I'll do that for the rest of my life.
Awesome. Gentlemen, I want to thank each of you for the time after the show.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for this awesome interview, for sharing everything about Love and Death. Remember, everyone out there, be sure to learn all you can. Pick up the new record, Between Here and Lost. It is out there right now. You can get it at loveanddeathmusic.com or anywhere else online. You saw the band only right here on...
There's our bass player.
There he is.
Only right here on what?
Hey, right here on Rob's Metalworks.